So I had a
Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
So I had a situation yesterday. One of my acquaintances that lives next to me asked me to take him to Walgreens to pick up some of his stuff. He usually gets like psych meds and shit. So I'm like, whatever. Well, this time he wasn't picking up psych meds. He has a surgery coming up. He had to get his foot rebroken, and he picked up some oxys.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Florida Boulevard.
And I was just like, bro, in my head. I know he knows that I'm in recovery, but I know he also doesn't fucking think about any of that shit. He never offered me any. I'm looking for this guy with a dog up here. That I got him some fucking ice water for his dog.
At the light, turn left onto Florida Boulevard.
He wasn't thinking about it, but that shit can be, my trapezius muscle on my left side, right here, and this elbow and bicep and shoulder are just fucking, I don't know if something's out of whack or whatever. Where the fuck is this dude? But it's been bothering me. But I also know that shit ain't gonna fucking help me. You know what I mean? Like, I just know. Where is this guy? That shit ain't gonna help me. So I was at a here it is. Does your dog need some water? I got some ice water in here I got from Racetrack. Does he need any dog food?
I got lots of dog food. Ice water is always good commodity.
Yeah, I know. I got dogs. I just seen you out here. I just figured I'd drop you some off. Hey, buddy. Good? All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hate seeing fucking people out here on their, luck with their fucking dogs, man. I can't wait till this shit's fucking over. I ain't turning there. So, I went to a place this morning, a recovery kind of like house situation, and it's funny because it's been a while. It's been years since I've been a corrections officer. Almost 20 fucking years. But it's like the people there, they just want to talk to people because they're surrounded by people like themselves. And you're kind of not locked down, but some of them just want to talk to because they want to get a cigarette from me or something, but I just felt like God had me there for a reason to talk to somebody, And there's a lot of people that when they're in these recovery homes or whatever, they feel hopeless, And, they're either court ordered or whatever. But I came around the corner and I found a kid, reading his Bible, and he was by himself. And I said, well, here's somebody that's definitely not trying to be like putting on a show and shit. My ex used to leave her like her little AA or NA book out so you could see the work that she did or whatever, or leave like things to make it look like she was like putting the work in or whatever you want to call it, but I call it bullshit. That shit used to really fucking irritate me, man. Man, it's fucking stuffed up. I felt like God wanted me to talk to him, and he said his name was Sean. He asked, we just started talking, and I just said, listen, man, I'm just going to give you the shortest, sweetest advice you ever heard. You're in the right book. Just ask God to deliver you from this, because he's the only one that truly can. We can't do it ourselves. It even says that. But this isn't something that's got to define you for the rest of your life. I'm a nobody, and I literally just cried out to God, and we had a short conversation, da-da-da-da-da. Another guy heard us talking, and, I just feel like that's what we're supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. I felt like God wanted me to do that, and that's one thing when I talk to people about whatever, like recovery or whatever, when you've had a life-changing and a life, like, affirming or a life save, or, like a moment in your life where your life almost ended and it changed your life. It's revolutionary, and you can't stop talking about it, because I grew up in the church, and I still didn't believe that what happened to me could happen to me. I don't know why. And I've read, and I believed in God, and I believed in miracles, and I believed in all that. But when I look back at it, I just remember, I don't know, I just thought that, my parents were going to find a rehab for me or something fucking stupid like that. And I just remember calling out to God going, if you're really desperate enough, and, like I had, it's like God has always delivered those in the Bible that had zero hope, or zero chance, or there was zero way it could be anything else but God. And he waits until that moment, whether it was with Moses or whomever, and he delivers them. And they say, well, that was God. They can't say, well, it was going to rain. It was going to rain anyways, or whatever, and that's why that happened. And no, it was because it was God. So I know people hear this for the first time. Maybe people are hearing this for the fourth time, whatever it is. I was in, it's 6-7 years ago, but, I was in a hopeless, beyond hopeless, suicidal situation where it was probably in the next day or two that I was going to make some changes in this realm of mine that I was living in, and they were going to be changes that I wasn't going to be able to redo. And when you are open to seeking God, God knows your heart, and you ask God to reveal himself to you, he will, and I just can't say it enough, man. Don't wait. I don't know what you're waiting for. There's not going to be a book by Oprah Winfrey. I'm sorry, the book The Secret. You can manifest things all you want. You're still you. You need to be forgiven, and you need to be saved, and you need to repent, but you need to ask God into your heart. And yeah, it's not going to get me a lot of sponsors or a lot of views. I really don't care. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I just tell people, like, I can't tell you the amount of times I've come across the verse, when you become born again, you'll have a new heart and new eyes. Well, a new heart is me feeding those cats every morning, okay? I don't know anybody that gets up at 5 o'clock, 5:30. I could be going to the gym, riding my bike, watching UFC fights. I would never had that dog. I would never have my dog. You know what I mean? Like, God just told me things, and it's just, I just want other people to experience it, and you can't. I wanted my ex to experience it, and I kept telling her, if you really had the experience you say that you're having, you would have an internet channel, or you would have a YouTube channel, and you would be legit talking about this stuff. So that's what it is.